Long before the advent of motor vehicles, the National Road became America's first federally funded highway. Also widely known as the Cumberland Road and the National Pike, it received authorization from Congress, and President Thomas Jefferson signed the bill into law back in 1806. Construction began in 1811, and the intent was to provide a travel corridor through the Appalachian Mountains from the east coast of the country to the then western frontier, and eventually to reach the Mississippi River in St. Louis, Missouri. At the time, most long-distance transportation of people or goods was via waterway. But no navigable rivers linked the population centers of the East Coast to the newly settled western lands. The road began in Cumberland, Maryland, at the headwaters of the Potomac River, and in 1818 was completed to Wheeling, in what is now West Virginia. This leg allowed overland connection between the Potomac River system and the Ohio River system. In 1838, the road made it to Springfield, Ohio, and in 1841, it was opened to what was then the Illinois capital city, Vandalia. By then, railroads were making great progress at easing transportation difficulties, and the official National Road Project never made its final link to St. Louis. It did, however, stretch through portions of 6 states on the journey from Maryland to Illinois, and we traveled the route with our Volkswagen Tiguan to seek out some of the history of the road that helped open the western portions of our young country. While much of the route today is like any other modern secondary highway, centuries-old buildings dot various points along the route, as do S-shaped stone bridges dating back to the first days of the National Road. Many structures, and in fact some whole towns along the route, are listed in the National Register of Historic Places. The road snakes through large cities, small towns, suburban sprawl, and rural areas of woods, mountains, and farmlands. Most of the road today is part of US 40, although in a number of areas, modern Highway 40 bypasses portions of the original pike. Careful attention to signs will help you follow the original path of the historic route. Roadside plaques, as well as various museums, provide information about some of the points of interest along the historic highway. In Cumberland, Maryland, we found the starting point of the National Road on the banks of the North Branch of the Potomac River, along with historic buildings used by George Washington in early military conflicts. In the mid and late 1800s, Cumberland further bolstered its credentials as an important transportation hub with the coming of the Chesapeake and Ohio Canal and the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad. This history is celebrated today at Canal Place. Marking the western terminus of the C&O Canal, exhibits showcase the glory days of the National Road, the canal, and the railroad. You'll also find scenic train tours, canal boat rides, and other recreational and historic activities centered around Canal Place. From the city, the National Road headed west through the Cumberland Gap, the easiest passage across the Allegheny Mountains, while all along the way, stone markers noted the distance to Wheeling. The Castleman River Bridge, opened in 1813, was once the largest stone arch bridge in the country. Its 80-foot span carried traffic for nearly 120 years before being shut down in favor of newer river crossings. We'll continue our trip along the National Road right after this.